Hey, it's Doug with Rose Reid, and we are going to talk about roping and riding and writing and producing and 1,000 Tomorrows. First of all, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Doug.
So let's talk a little bit about this background. I understand you wrote your first script at 14?
Yes, so I've always loved storytelling, and I've always loved, kind of all aspects of storytelling, and I kind of discovered very early on that film was another part of that, and kind of always thought, there's no way that I can ever get into that, but when an opportunity presented itself, I decided I was going to throw myself into it, and part of that was, I'm going to write a script, and it was the worst script that you'll ever read, but you know what, it really, it lit a fire under me. It made me, so passionate about screenwriting and storytelling, and I just knew that I wanted to do this.
Well, then I would assume that your parents and those that were around you would encourage you in that, because sometimes the kids that go for the arts, the parents are like, that's not practical, you have to have a real job.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I've got plenty of friends growing up who had those parents. Fortunately, thank the Lord, I had really, really great parents who immediately pulled me out of school. I was homeschooled from then on, which was one of the best things that could have happened for me. It gave me so many opportunities that I wouldn't have had otherwise. And yeah, they pulled me out of school. My dad got me into some acting classes, different programs and stuff like that. And they've always been really supportive, and they still are.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I'm sure you've seen the Karen Kingsbury interview that we did about this 1,000 Tomorrows. If not, you can go back and look it up on the site. Before we get into your character, for those that don't know, paint the overview about what this Pure Flix series is about.
Absolutely. So 1,000 Tomorrows is this beautiful romance, honestly, that tells the story of Cody Gunner and Allie Daniels. And they're two very different people, but they both kind of collide when they ride together on the circuit. And Cody is a bull, I almost said a bull dancer. That's not happening. He's a bull rider, and Allie Daniels is a barrel racer. And so they're from these very different parts of the rodeo circuit, but they end up falling in love, of course. And so it's a beautiful story of Cody finding redemption and reconciliation with his father and with his family, and Allie finding healing in ways that she didn't realize she was going to, because Allie's struggling with a major health diagnosis, and it's something that overshadows her daily life, but she has to fight through that. And it's this beautiful story of faith, reconciliation, healing, love. You
Awesome.
Really can't. You get to, watch barrel racers and bull riders. You can't get any better than that.
1,000 Tomorrows streaming exclusively on Pure Flix, and Allie is your character. And I understand how much is Allie and how much is Rose, because there's a lot of similarities in skill sets and.
Yeah, I like to think so. When I first read this script, I thought to myself, it really isn't a role that could be more tailor-made for me. And so I was so excited about it that when I auditioned, you're typically just told, like, send your tape in, walk away from it, wait and see what happens. But I decided I was going to send my tape in and go make a video of, me barrel racing and trick riding and doing all the things with my horses, because I grew up riding horses, and I thought, my best chance of getting this role is if I show them that I can do all this stuff, mm-hmm. and I'm very comfortable with it. And so I did it, and I got the role. So who knows? Maybe it worked, maybe it didn't. I'll leave that for you to say.
So it's you and not a stunt double.
Well, there is a stunt double sometimes. We have her anytime, there's anything too dangerous, they want the stunt double to do it, even though I begged and pleaded to let me do it. But for insurance reasons and everything, it's safer that way. And, my stunt double was wonderful, and I wouldn't have been able to meet her without that aspect of the filming, so I'm really grateful that they did that.
But it's cool that you're comfortable on a horse. Not everybody is. You're an actor in one thing, but it doesn't mean you're comfortable on it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I love horses. I've loved working with horses. They've been so fabulous, and I know that they can be kind of difficult to work with on film sets because they're animals, and they are trained actors in a lot of ways, and they know how to hit their mark just the way an actor does. It's very fascinating, but of course they might have a bad day and have something on their mind, and they might be a little bit more temperamental than the actors are, believe it or not. So they're a little interesting to work with, but fabulous nonetheless.
Well, with Karen Kingsbury and her son behind this, I know that there were probably some tears shed.
Yes, yeah, this is definitely a tearjerker. That was something that Colin Ford, who plays Cody Gunner, he and I talked a lot about that, about how both of us were in different places when we were reading the ending of the book and the screenplay or the teleplay, and we were just talking about how, like, we were both in different places, but we were both just sobbing, and other people were looking at us like, what are you? And we were just like, sorry, yeah, it's emotional. But it is a tearjerker, and it's really sweet, but it's very heartfelt. It's kind of bittersweet, and there is an uplifting ending. It's not like you're going to walk away from it feeling heartbroken.
So once everyone's watched the series, what do you think the conversations might be for the family just kind of coming down on the final credits? What do you think they're talking about?
Gosh, I can just say what I hope they're talking about. You know, something that I really took from my character is she lives every day as if it's her last, and she, you know, takes advantage of every moment and appreciates every moment and doesn't, you know, she's not looking years ahead, which I'm really bad about. I'm always looking, what's next? Whereas I'm never appreciating it in the moment. And, you know, we talk about how there are things, whether it's like a scene for me, or it's, you know, an event coming up in your life or a party coming up in your life that you're so excited about, and you just keep thinking, oh, just 2 weeks away, just 1 week away, a few days away, and then you're there and it just blows by and you don't even think about it, you're doing other things. And then the next day you're like, I didn't even enjoy that. I didn't even take a moment to appreciate that. And my character really shows you the importance of appreciating every moment, because you never know what, you know, when's going to be your last day and how much longer you have. So I think that was something that was really special to me, and I hope that audiences are talking about. And
then inclusivity in terms of the acting and the things they're not afraid to talk about, which is great. That should be applauded.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. You know, Cole Sibus, he's a Down syndrome actor, and he was absolutely fabulous. I think that they really did justice to that character. They did justice to the, whether it was, you know, Cole's character, or if it was Allie's character, who's dealing with a lot of health issues as well. You know, they really did justice to that, and I think that was something that was really important to us when we were going through the project, was making sure that we were respectful of those. You know, whether it's an illness or whether it's just how you live your life, you know, that we're being really respectful of those.
So, this is an amazing opportunity for you. What other things are coming down the road?
Yeah, this has been a whirlwind, and it's been so much fun, and I'm so glad to have been a part of it. I had the wonderful fortune of working with Angel Studios on a project coming up at the end of this year. I believe it's called The Shift, and it's really exciting. I'm very excited to talk about that. And then I also have another project that I'll be starting at the end of the year. Can't wait to tell you guys more about that. I can't say anything yet, but I'm very excited. I hope everyone's going to love it.
That's awesome. So what would your encouragement be? Someone that's watching right now and they're kind of like, gosh, I really feel the tug to that. I really want to do that, but I'm scared. I'm afraid. I don't know if I'm good enough.
Gosh, I would really say, you know, buckle down and just keep at it, keep working, because hard work is going to take you so much further than any lucky break or any contacts ever can. Like, if you keep your head down and keep working, if you know that this is where you're supposed to be, you're going to end up there.